Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and once you've been lockpicking for a while, you'll start to collect all sorts of lockpicking related tools, screwdrivers, circlip removers, various gutting tools, and these are pretty standard things to have as a lockpicker, especially when you want to disassemble various locks. But I want to show you my top 5 slightly strange tools which I've just come to use over and over and over again, and when I first started the hobby I had no idea that I might actually need them. First up in my slightly strange lockpicking tools collection is this nylon and rubber hammer or mallet. Somebody will correct me in the comments, I'm sure. And this is so useful for lots of reasons, especially if you have a lock you want to hit and you don't want to leave a mark on it. You might see from all the markings on it that I've used this tool absolutely tons. It's really cheap, and probably the top 2 ways that I use this tool the most is 1, as a bump hammer. It works really well for that, although please mind your fingers. And the other thing is for when I've got a stuck pin or something's in the wrong place and I just need to hit a lock pretty hard to bump the pins out of the way from the top. My next very well used and slightly strange tool, I guess, is this big thick rubber pad, and this is so useful. You'd be surprised. It's very nice and grippy. It sticks to a work surface. Because this is rubber and it slightly deforms, I can use it to grip hold of things I want to file, for example, like keys. And another great use, just like the hammer before it, is to whack things against, because it's soft enough it won't mark metal. For example, if you've accidentally just snapped a key off in a lock, you can whack the lock against the rubber block and you should be able to jolt the broken key out. There are so many other ways I've used this big, thick, grippy, flexible piece of rubber. It's unbelievable. It's got some battle scars on it. It's much loved and it's, again, really cheap. Another unusual set of tools that as a beginner lockpicker I didn't really appreciate that I would need as much as I do use them, and that is a set of metal punches or drift punches. And this is not a sponsor, but I really like this set. I think there's a German set, and this is really, really useful. Why? Well, the primary way that I use these drift punches, and there isn't really a great alternative to using them, is for disassembling certain locks which have retaining pins, either like coiled springs or these little tapered pins which go all the way through from one side to the other and stop you from getting a follower in through the back. I use the finer tips for removing the pins when I'm disassembling a lock, and the broad tips for when I want to hit those pins back in again when I'm reassembling the lock. I have used cheap drift punches in the past. You can get cheap sets, but actually please spend the money. It's really worth spending that little bit extra to get something which just won't bend and deform. These ones, like I said, not a sponsor, seem to be really, really good. When I want to make custom picks with pins in, you have to make holes in the tang of the pick, and this metal is often really strong. We're talking about max yield, high yield stainless steel. And quite honestly, this heavy duty metal hole punch has been an absolute lifesaver when it has come to making custom picks and punching through metal. It is brilliant. Again, absolutely not a sponsor, but I've used this over and over and over again, and it's been very reliable for me. And all you do to make a hole is make sure you get the punch in the right place, grip the metal, press down really, really hard, and then you'll hear this big ping, and there'll be a hole punched in your pick. And the whole process is just so quick, so easy. And whilst it might not be as accurate as being able to drill through the steel, it works surprisingly well, and you can get some really, really great results using that tool. And last but not least, out of all of my slightly strange lockpicking adjacent tools that I wanted to highlight in this video is Imperial hex keys. Now, this will probably surprise all of you lockpickers who are in the United States of America who use probably Imperial hex keys all the time, but these are relatively hard to find in the UK. You can get them, they're not that hard to find, but they're certainly not as common as metric hex keys. And because I'm in Europe, of course, we pick a lot of European locks. A lot of European locks, if they do have a little grub screw in that takes a hex key. They'll take metric hex keys, but quite a lot of locks in America do still use Imperial measurements, and so if you are beginning your lockpicking journey, get hold of a set of cheap Imperial hex keys. They will be a lifesaver when you want to gut a lock and nothing else will really fit. And I suppose we do have to shout out this little bag of sheep castration rings. These make really good O-rings for your bump keys. And there you go, that was my choice of 5 slightly unusual lockpicking tools that I just could not be without now. I really hope you enjoyed that video. I'd love to know if you've got any tools which you didn't know that you even needed when you started lockpicking and now you find them indispensable. Do you agree with my selection? Do you think I was cheating with the metric hex keys? I'd love to know in the comments below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you like this video, please hit that like, subscribe, share, hit the notifications. It all really helps my channel out. And of course, all I can say is stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.